Heroes and heroines of all ages. When the world tells you to get a life, you're always welcome at the One Up Block. My name is Dan the Man, your host, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories. When we last left off, we figured out what was going on with Naminé, how Sora's memories have all been faked because of Naminé. She herself is the one who's been faking them. We beat the crap out of Riku, who is now on the floor there, and, that's... He's just kind of there, so we're just going to ignore him. But we are now going forward to take on Marluxia to get him back for treating poor Naminé like a slave, because we don't like Marluxia because he's a douche. But we no longer have any more world cards to use, so the door is automatically open, so whatever's coming next, we have no idea what it is. Promises never fade. Even if all our memories do. Let's deal with Marluxia and get our memories back. Right on, Donald, right on.
Who was it? Who's most important to me? Nothing.
Can't you remember?
No, I only remember Naminé. Come on, do you guys remember anything at all?
No, sorry, Sora. It's important, but I just can't remember. I don't want to be, but I'm getting scared.
Then we should really make a promise.
Huh?
What you said back there kinda got my brain, thinking. Whenever you make a promise that's super duper big, maybe it gives you the courage to face the scary stuff.
Courage.
Yeah, let's do it. And if we get scared, or in trouble, or even if we get separated.
Or even if we sort of forget each other.
Whatever happens, we're friends.
All for one and one for all.
And Sora learns Trinity Limit. Inflict heavy damage on all enemies in sight. Attack Donald and Goofy. So Trinity Limit is a very powerful attack, and you can now use it as long as you have a Donald and Goofy card, and a Keyblade card, which is pretty simple to come across if you recall anything from the gameplay we've been shown. We also got the Key of Beginnings. Welcome to Castle Oblivion. Castle Oblivion. This is the last stop on our adventure as Sora, and, this place is basically exactly what we've been seeing in between the other worlds, the areas where we pick the world we go to, so nothing really has changed all that much. The layouts are still the same. We have some new Heartless, which you can see down there is something called a Neo Shadow. You can actually find a Neo Shadow in Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Remix. I have not shown it off yet, but I will get to that eventually. But yes, that is technically a new Heartless that was not shown in the original Kingdom Hearts 1, as far as I know, unless you count that secret movie. But yeah, we're going to be checking out what's in that Calm Bounty, as usual. And then we're going to be heading straight for the boss, which I have to warn you at this point. We are going straight for the final bosses of the game after this, so you're going to want to be prepared. Don't worry, I'm going to show you what decks you want to have before you fight the bosses coming up. But this Calm Bounty is going to get us Raging Storm. 3 fiery tornadoes appear around Sora, dealing damage to enemies as they hit. Arrow, fire, fire. Also another very good attack if you want to use that for grinding in certain areas. I don't in particular, but hey, maybe you like it. But just so I can do a little bit of movie magic, I'm going to transition us to the next place that we need to be by walking through this door. Whoop! Okie dokie, and we are still technically in a calm bounty, which is pretty funny, honestly. But our next plot door is through there. If you're curious as to why we're not going for the Room of Rewards just yet, you actually have to beat the game to unlock some of the rewards you get from the Room of Rewards cards. So I'm just not going to bother with that until I actually have access to all the cards that I can get from the Room of Rewards. Again, if you want to backtrack and go collect all the extra cards because you want to, I encourage that you do it just so you have the cards on hand, just in case they give you that much of an edge in battle that you need. But I do not need them, and I'm pretty set with the decks that I've chosen to fight the final fights in this game. Which, speaking of, let's go review our deck. As you can see, we have a bunch of blizzards, and then we have a bunch of lethal frames, which is pretty standard as of this point. But you might be curious as to why the blizzards are actually here. We're actually going to be fighting an enemy who is weak to ice, and I like how easy it is to hit him with a maxed Blizzaga before going into using my other slights. So that's what we're going to do, and you probably already know exactly who we're going to be fighting, but without further ado, let's start this boss fight proper.
Larxene paid the price for disloyalty when she disappeared. You must do the same! The organization's betrayed. In that name, I will annihilate you.
That line's not you.
Well, had to try it once, you know. Is that your shield? Won't do you any good, I'm afraid.
I wonder. Are you listening, Sora?
Oh?
Axel says he's willing to harm Naminé to get me. You won't let that happen, will you?
Oh, come now. You're Marluxia's puppet already?
After I finish you, he's next.
Now, Sora, we've got more in common than you might think. I'd really rather not fight you. But I can't dishonor the organization, now can I?
And just like that, we are fighting Axel once again. Just like before, he does all the same moves, except now he has the stipulation of kicking your ass a little harder. All of his moves do hurt, and what you're going to want to do is very similar to Vexen, is let him attack, and then shoot off an attack of your own to break his cards and hit him for massive damage. This will apply right now until... Oh, crap. Oh, break him. Axel is really dangerous when he does that one specific attack where he kind of starts dancing towards you, because what he'll do at that point is he will start to do this really long combo that will hurt Sora a lot. So, for your best course of action, try to stay as far away from him as possible, but you also have to deal with him teleporting away like that, which can be a run-ender, unfortunately, but hopefully with a little bit of effort you will take him down. Usually once you get him into a lethal frame, you can just keep spamming it, and usually he will not teleport. But sometimes even if he does, just like there, he will actually teleport super early and end up messing himself up. So you can still do a lot of damage to him. And bada bing, bada boom. We just need one of these. Thank you. And like that. Shit. Okay, that's probably... Oh, he didn't get me. That's good. Alright. So break his card, shoot him with Blizzaga, and he's down. That is why we took Blizzaga with us, because holy crap, can that fight be a pain in the keister. And we get his card, which I don't know what it does, but if I had to guess, it boosts fire-based attacks.
You're better than I thought you'd be. It was worth saving you after all.
Saving me? What do you mean?
Sorry, I would hate to kill the suspense.
Axel!
Okie dokie, and with that we finished off Axel. And we do have to go a little bit of a ways to get to where we need to go, but due to movie magic I can actually make that much quicker by walking through a door. So, without further ado, let's go on to... let's just go. Alright, and now that we are here, we can look at the map, and we're at where we need to be, the unknown room, which is straight ahead. Once you walk through this door, I believe you will have to do a boss fight. So just in case, I'm going to check my deck. It is full of lethal frames, which is exactly what you want at this point, because the next boss fight is pretty easy to handle with the lethal frame deck. There are a bunch of other recommendations that I've seen, but I think I've got the strategy down pretty well for handling this fight using lethal frame. So, you know, without further ado, let's go on to it.
You've defeated Axel. The Keyblade's power. How I've longed to make it my own.
Let Nominate go!
You've no chance of winning. Nominate. Erase Sora's memory.
But if I do that...
That's right. Sora's heart will be destroyed.
His heart destroyed?
You can do that!
I'd rather have preferred him unmarred. But he can be rebuilt, more to my liking with time. Nominate. Do it.
No. Sora forgave me even... when I deceived him. So how could I destroy his heart? There's no way! I don't care what happens to me. I won't hurt Sora. I won't do it!
Then you will.
Do it, Nominate! I don't care. You can erase my memory.
Sora, why'd you say that?
Because... who will I look after if I don't have... Nominate? So just do it. Erase my memories. Destroy my heart. I promised. I'll always protect you. You have to believe me.
Sora...
I don't need any memories to take on someone like Marluxia.
You bet! Even if Sora forgets it all, Goofy and I won't forget.
Donald's right. He and I can remember everything for Sora.
See? I'll have all my friends' memories, so I can piece my own together again.
You ignorant fool. If Nominate uses her powers to erase your memory, you'll be nothing but an empty shell. Your heart will no longer be able to feel or to care, just like Vexen's pathetic imitation of your Riku.
Take another guess.
What?
It can't be.
Riku!
No. Just an imitation.
You're a shell. A shell who has had everything taken. Everything!
What can you possibly think I ever had? Both my body and my heart are fake. But there is one memory I'll keep, even if it's just a lie. Whether it was a phantom promise or not, I will protect Nominate.
Imbeciles. You would knowingly shackle your heart.
with a chain of memories born of lies? You would be one who has a heart, yet cast aside your heart's freedom? You turn from the truth because your heart is weak. You will never defeat me!
And just like that, we are fighting the big man himself, Marluxia, or as we refer to him as, Marmar. Marmar is really dangerous, but pretty simply we can deal with him by using Lethal Frame, which is very badly shown off there. He got a cheap shot on me while I was trying to tell people about you, Marluxia. Jeez. Thankfully, the load times are not so bad that we can just skip right into the boss fight again. But once you get a good rhythm with Lethal Frame on him, he's not so bad. Hopefully he won't do an attack that has him dash at you like that. But you want to get in close and use Lethal Frame as soon as possible. Once you get Lethal Frame off, you want to back up a little bit and then use it again. If you're too close to him, in my experience, he does start to try and teleport away from you. If you can get a good couple of Lethal Frames in before he can either break your cards or do anything to you, like usual, that's pretty good. If I can sneak one more in and then use Jafar, he should be donezo, which seems to be the case. So I'll use Jafar, and now he can't break my cards whatsoever, and we should be done with him. So I know that using slights looks really cheap and probably takes away from the coolness factor of actually beating these guys legit, but if you're in the comment section and you're watching this video and you hate the fact that I'm spamming slights, I would like for you to enlighten me on what the proper way to play Chain of Memories is other than using slights. Because the only other way I can think of is just using a bunch of high-level cards and having a bunch of zeros in your deck so you can always stop their big attacks, or you can use big numbered cards so they can never hit you. But with that out of the way, bye-bye, Marmar. You are done. And we got a level up. What do you know about that? And we got Marluxia's card, which is actually super useful. Marluxia's card lets you use double slights for 3 slights. So, say you use Lethal Frame. You will use 2 Lethal Frames for the price of 1, which is going to be... We're going to abuse the crap out of that for the next fight, which is the final fight, by the way. You can put into whatever you want here. I would keep putting into CP myself. I will show you my deck shortly after the cutscene that's about to show up, so you can see how much CP I actually use. If you need HP, again, this fight is going to be kind of tough. So if you need the HP, put into it if you need to. But I'm just going to put into CP because it doesn't matter right now. And vamos.
Is it done?
You could say that. However, what you destroyed was merely an illusion of me.
So what? Another imitation.
He's really... in there?
Yes.
I knew it. I can feel his power. It's trying to destroy my heart.
Gorge, we'll just take care of him together.
Sora, come on!
Riku, protect Naminé.
You don't mind?
Should I?
All right.
Alright, and through movie magic once more, the power of editing, I have readjusted my deck, and it's going to be a little bit complicated to explain, but I'll do my best. So what we're going to want to do for this next fight coming up, this next fight is actually a 2-part boss fight. So what is recommended is you have 2 separate decks inside of your one deck. Now I know that was very complicated coming out, but it's as simple as making 2 decks using the shortcut system. So right here you can see I have a deck full of 3s, which will result in Ragnarok, a sleight which does a lot of aerial range damage, which is super good for the first fight, and they're also really useful for the second part of the fight as well, but they're mostly there to take care of the first half of the Marluxia boss fight. And then for our second deck, we obviously will take our Lethal Frame deck. And on top of that, we will have, I think these are Sonic Blades just in case to finish him off if I need to. But we're also going to be taking Jafar and Marluxia. As I said before, using Marluxia lets you use 2 sleights in a row. So if you use Marluxia and then use a Lethal Frame attack, you will do 2 Lethal Frames for the price of 1 sleight, which is super handy for getting some easy damage off on his second part of the boss fight, and Jafar is there for obvious reasons. You also want to take a bunch of zeros just in case, because he does do a bunch of sleights that you want to get rid of as fast as possible, but he also has the ability to do a sleight called Doom, which, if you're familiar with the Final Fantasy franchise, Doom is a counter that slowly ticks down until it insta-kills you. And I think it insta-kills you in this as well, I don't remember. It either takes your cards or insta-kills you, but I'm just gonna I'm putting all my money on the fact that it insta-kills you. So you gotta be careful, and that's what you want the 0 cards for, because you have to break a certain number of cards to make Doom not work. And having a bunch of 0 cards does that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I had to assume, I put 8 in here because there's 8 cards you need to break. So there you go. A total, I needed 1,190 CP of the 1,400 that I have. So you don't necessarily need all the CP I've been putting into, so you can comfortably start putting into some HP at around 1,200-ish. So, you know, use that to your advantage. Also take an elixir and some HP just in case, because you know what this is for. Getting your cards back in a pinch if you need them. We shouldn't need them. If it comes to that, if it comes to the point where I need to use an elixir, I'm usually dead anyway, but there are times where RNG can play in your favor and it will work out. But without further ado, we are now prepared to take on quite possibly one of the shittiest fights in the game if you're not prepared for it, because leading up to this, there has been no fight that is this difficult in the game, and it is such a difficulty spike that a lot of people have problems with him because he's a pain in the ass. So hopefully if you're watching this, you will find a strategy comfortable enough to kill him with no problem. So what I want you to do is pay attention to my deck on the bottom left while I'm fighting the second half, because you have to be very dexterous with how you go through your deck and attack him. So just as a forewarning, you might want to look out for that. Your heart can withstand even Marluxia's power. I know it. You ready? Because whatever's behind that door seems really powerful. As long as we remember our promises, there's nothing we can't face. I'll take care of Naminé, I promise. Okie dokes, without further ado. Oh boy, Sora, this is the final battle. Are you ready? You can say I'm not quite ready yet, or you can say it's our last battle. But we're hopping right into it. Hopefully we won't die too much. I expect possibly to die because of the Let's Play curse, but here we go.
Soon the emptiness will shatter your heart. Here in this world of nothingness. As lightless oblivion devours you, drown in the ever-blooming darkness!
And here we have what me and my friends affectionately call Marmar 2. This was initially the final boss of the original Game Boy Advance game, however, this game has added a second fight to this, and it's really annoying. But starting off, you're going to want to lock on and try to lock on to the middle part, avoid his attacks, use your Marmar card, and then use your sleights to take out a good chunk of his health. As you see, we used one sleight, and without actually using another sleight, Sora will then do another Ragnarok. and bada boom. This Marmar is incredibly easy in the sense that he cannot use sleights, and I don't think he uses that many high-numbered cards. So as long as your card numbers is higher than his, he will never break your cards, which I don't even think he has something... I don't think he even uses, like, 9s, so he's practically dead as soon as you start spamming a bunch of Ragnaroks. So this phase is not the problem with this boss fight. It's the second phase that is a huge pain in the keister. And the problem for a lot of people, I can assume, is that having to make 2 separate decks and then needing the dexterity to cycle through multiple decks is kind of annoying, and it really is. I really wish these were separated fights so you could switch decks right after beating one of them. Possibly even save after beating Marmar too. But once everything is said and done, and once you have the strategy for beating the second part of this boss fight, it's not nearly as bad as it seems. You're just gonna die. And you're gonna have to retry the fight until you get it right. And that kind of sucks, and it can be frustrating if RNG is not on your side.
Your hopes are doomed to the darkness.
And here we have Marmar 3. Now, I'm going to get right to the chase. As soon as this fight starts, you're going to want to lock onto him and switch to your shortcut and use the Marmar card. So pay attention to my deck as I go into this fight. It's really important to know what you need to do here. When he summons these flowers, which I'll get into in a second, let's see. Lock on, switch to Marmar, press down, and then use Lethal Frame. When Marmar summons these little flower petals that try to shoot you like this, that is a good indicator that he will not use any big sleights, so you can keep using sleights of your own. Do not destroy the flowers, they are targetable. That's why you want to lock on to Marmar as soon as possible. And you're going to want to do as much damage as you can with Lethal Frame using the Marmar card, because he will not break it using any sleights, due to the fact that he always starts with the flower petal things that shoot you. Hopefully we can get a couple of free shots in after this, because that would be even better. If you can get a couple of shots in from Lethal Frame after you've used the Marmar card, that's even more damage that he can't deal with. So he still has the flowers out, so we're going to go in again. And with this, I should be able to use the Jafar card. And now he can't break my sleights. So go back to the top of your deck so you can use Ragnarok. And with any luck, he will not get a sleight off on me. It takes a while for you to actually stop doing Ragnarok, so he'll break his sleights on yours. And with ease, Marmar 3 goes down, and that's how you do it. Hopefully that strategy will help any of you having problems with him.
You okay, Riku?
Not Riku. I'm a fake. I can't remember why I was created or where or when. All that's inside of me is time with you and Namine. But I know those memories are not real.
Gee, Namine, can't you use your magic to put Riku's memory back to normal?
It's all right. I'll deal.
Wait! Who cares if someone created you? You are you and nobody else. You have your own heart inside you. Those feelings and memories are yours, and yours alone. They're special.
Sora, you're a good guy. I don't have to be real to see how real your feelings are. That's good enough.
Riku! Riku.
Can you put our memories back?
Yes. Not remembering something doesn't really mean that it's gone.
What do you mean?
When you remember one thing, that leads to remembering another. And then another, and then another. Our memories are connected. Many pieces are linked together, like they're in a chain that makes up each of us. I don't actually erase any memories. Just take apart the links and rearrange them. You still have all your memories.
So you can put them back together?
Yes, but first, I have to undo the chains of the memories I made on my own. After I've done that, I have to gather up the memories scattered across each of your hearts, and then reconnect them. It might take some time, but I think it might work. No, it will work, I'm sure. It's my turn to look after you.
All right. We all really trust you.
Oh, wait a second. You said you'd have to undo the links of the memories you made. But that means...
Yes. You won't be able to remember anything about what happened here.
Not even you?
I'm sorry. It's the only way, I'm afraid. Sora, you have a choice. You can lose your memories of this castle and reclaim your old ones, or keep your memories here and give up the memories that you've lost.
Do I have to choose?
Yes.
Make me like I was.
Oh, okay. Nobody needs to keep a bunch of memories that aren't real, right? You want to remember all of the people who are really important to you. Anybody would choose that.
To remember again, we have to keep in that?
Yes. It's going to take a little time, but I'll take care of you.
Gosh, when we wake up, we won't remember who you are anymore.
But how are we gonna thank you?
Don't worry about that. I'll just make a big note in my journal. And it will say, thank Nominate.
Oh, good. That makes me feel better.
Well, good night then, Nominee.
Good night, Goofy. You too, Sora.
Okay.
All of this may have started with a lie, but I really am glad that I could meet you, Sora.
Yeah, me too. When I finally found you, and even when I remembered your name, I was happy. The way I felt then, that was no lie.
Goodbye.
No, not goodbye. When I wake up, I'll find you. And then there will be no lies. We're gonna be friends for real. Promise me, Naminé.
You're going to forget making that promise.
If the chain of memories comes apart, the links will still be there, right? So the memory of our promise will always be inside me somewhere. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, it's a promise.
Good. Until later.
A promise. Huh. Sora, some of your memory's links are deep in the shadows of your heart, and I won't be able to find them. But don't worry. You made another promise to someone who you could never replace. She is your light. The light within the darkness. Remember her, and all the memories lost in the shadows of your heart will come into the light.
Another promise.
Look at the good luck charm. I changed its shape when I changed your memory. But when you thought of her just once, it went back to the way it was.
Kairi! My friends. Naminé?
Don't worry. You might forget about me. But with our promise, I can come back.
A promise is a promise.
Yes. One day the light, it will be ours and it will bring us together. Till then, I'll be in your heart.
Right. Forgotten, but not lost.
There is always sleep between part and meet, with our usual words on the usual street. So let us part like we always do, and in a world without you, I'll dream of you. When I come to, let us meet, with our usual words on the usual street. And there we have it, the end of Kingdom Hearts Re: Chain of Memories. these are our stats, which don't really matter all that much, so I'm not really going to pay too much attention to them, but I love this artwork on the right. It's so nice. So yeah, we have finished Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories, so without wasting too much time, because this video has been going on for too long, because it's the last one with all in-game cutscenes and whatnot, so let's, I'm not going to save because I don't need to, we're just going to head right back into the main menu, as it were. Hey, wait a minute. That's not Sora. So, here we go. We are not done with Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories quite yet. We still have to do the campaign Reverse Rebirth, which, if we hit New Game, you can see we can now play as Riku. Riku has his own unique story in the game, but it goes by a fair bit faster than Sora, so it shouldn't be too hard to get through, in all honesty. Riku, unlike Sora, has no plot during the Disney worlds at all, so I don't even have to skip them because the game skips them for me. So that's going to be nice, but yeah, we are not done. We're going to be heading into Riku on the next episode, but yeah, that's all the time we have for this one. A hero's work is never done. Join me again next time as we continue to tackle Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories. Later days, everybody.